Hey everyone, how are you doing today? Today I did have a particular topic I wanted to talk about, but due to circumstances out of my control, I haven't had any creative juices to muster for about a month. Genshin Impact, being the reason, stole my heart, and it took over my usual game time. But before my absolutely wonderful time with Genshin Impact, I was playing an indie game that had a towering presence in my mind palace called Flower Tower. Pizza Tower. So grab your soda, grab your pizza, and all the waifus you can handle, and let's get into this thrilling episode of Dragon Ball Z. Normally this is where a potential sponsor for many videos could probably go, but I don't have any, and because I'm such a tiny channel, and unless you subscribe and like the video, this probably won't get any views at all, and probably nothing in regards to a sponsor. So let's move on to the actually fun parts of this video. Let's start with the fun stuff of Genshin Impact. Since this is a double hitter of a video, I'm going to include a timestamp between the two topics. So, we're going to start with the game of Waifu with waifus, also known as Genshin Impact, and Pizza Tower will have a timestamp around here. So, for the longest time, I didn't give Genshin Impact any attention other than maybe some free promotions until a recent promotion on YouTube involving a particular character popping up. This was none other than Zendaya.
What's your name? What's it to you?
I think it's pronounced Dia for the English, which sparked my initial interest in the game. So when I jumped into the game, I made it my personal mission to get her to play as. Now, with hindsight, I do know that she's not the best for endgame content, but she got me into the game. That's what's important right now. But little did I know, I'd fallen so in love with the game, the gameplay already being familiar with its playstyle, being similar to Breath of the Wild, or by another name I could call it, that time I got reincarnated into a procrastinating simulator, with Dante from Devil May Cry, which I also love as well. But with more characters that use various elements from 7 categories, and also a lot of different weapons and ability. Then there was the art design, making the game feel like a playable anime with beautiful areas, from the very competent areas of Mondstadt being similar to European styles, to Liyue, Niue, Frickaway, whatever the fuck you say to pronounce this name, taking massive Chinese inspiration, which ironically is made by a Chinese developer, so who'd have thunk. Then there's Inazuma, that got sparked of inspiration from Japan, and more recent editions of Sumeru being similar to Egypt in the desert area, and I freaking love Egypt. Fun fact, I got into Magic the Gathering during the Amonkhet, which took heavy inspiration from Egypt too. And then the rainforest areas of Sumeru being heavily inspired from various regions of the world, making this game really pretty to look at and play in, I gotta say. Now, beyond that is also its story, which is absolutely phenomenal, especially with the characters being an absolute joy to watch interact with each other over time. What I initially thought as a meh gacha game that never could really break its mobile gaming roots got my heart, and I would wholly recommend to anyone who's played games like Genshin Impact before, and with it's still going on with its story and world building, definitely would recommend it even more so. But now I have the main dish or course of today, Pizza Tower.
Pizza time.
Now, the main course of the video is going to be Pizza Tower. Developed by Tour de Pizza, Pizza Tower plays similar to other games that were put in a blender with the puree being the Pizza Tower as the end product. While I was initially playing it, a few games did come to mind. The obvious ones being Sonic and Mario games, 2D Metroid games like Metroid Fusion or Super Metroid being others for some of the movesets, and then there were the power-ups being very similar to Mario and Wario games. I'm more familiar with Mario, and not really Wario, but from what I've seen about Wario games, Pizza Tower definitely is a spiritual successor, which ironically is why it was made the way it was too. The environments are also very diverse, from various farms to convenience stores, a war zone, and a golf course. If the diverse environments weren't enough though, the music is absolutely incredible. From the more obvious ones you may have seen being Pizza Time, there are also other ones that are in the game. The tracks made me think of Mega Man X titles and Zero games, with how much of these game tracks energizing the way I played the game. It just made the game feel so good to play with such an energizing soundtrack. Then there's the animation of the characters. They gave me a Saturday morning cartoon vibe, especially with how, with almost every single level you play, there's a title card for the stage before it starts up proper. But that's just the presentation. What about the gameplay specifically?
You can't leave now. It's pizza time.
Like earlier, I stated what Pizza Tower plays like, and I'll try not to repeat it too much. So let's get into what Pizza Tower offers. Pizza Tower is a platformer game that spans many levels, about 20, excluding the boss level, where you go through each level with some new things to spice it up. With these new additions, it keeps most levels from being too similar. Going from traditional levels to using a taxi service before being arrested, to golfing and being the golf ball, to riding bodies like the surfboard, to completing an entire level with a timer pinging away being one of the final levels. Most of these levels you will play as Peppino and a duo of his buddies as they navigate the tower. How Peppino deals with opponents varies from grabbing them and chomping/punching them, which can also be used to knock them into others to take them out. Doing Peppino's Mach Dash, which allows him to move around super fast for a platformer character, he's able to pretty much speed boost through enemies and take them out that way. And then he also gets various power-ups that are strewn around the areas of various levels. These powers vary from stealing King Arthur's sword, getting red hot chili chicken from Taco Bell. At least it's not from going out from the ass, because I've heard that anything hot from Taco Bell is horrible on the ass. Oh, and I can't forget about him punking his boomstick all over the place. Yeah, I wrote that down. Peppino's friend, Gustavo, and his pet rat, Rick, have similar moves to him too. But with Rick, Gustavo can use him as a boulder and jump off walls, doing the type of wall jump, and can also do double jumps, turning them into a very catastrophic duo. They are just so fun to play. It's like rolling around with the boulder from Indiana Jones. Now, they aren't playable too much, at least in the main story, but their playstyle is extremely fun when they do pop up. Between Peppino and Gustavo/Rick, the game is super fun. Then there's the mechanics of the game. Unlike most games with a life system or HP bar, Peppino doesn't get hurt per se, but instead with each hit, your points for the level take a hit. And if you get hit enough, you can unlock a new set of clothes. Remember, you want new clothes. Get set on fire with lava for it faster. Oh, and before I forget, there's also the main part of each level where you take out Pillar John. Who's this sentient pillar looking dude. you take him out before you end the level, and that's when it starts up the titular pizza time theme. And that means instead of just the traditional platforming, get to the direction and finish the level, you get to the main part of the level, and then you have to get the fuck out of there. To, honestly, one of the best tunes I've heard in a game in a long time. It is very catchy. There's also the boss battles that can be split into multiple phases. During these, Peppino does have an HP bar where he can get hit about 6 times before being booted from the level to try again. And although the bosses have about 16 hits split between multiple phases, with the exception of a couple bosses, prime examples being the Vigilante, requiring multi-hits before he loses a life, and another one being the final boss. These are some of the exceptions. I think these are the only ones, but I may be misremembering. But before even getting to the bosses, Peppino needs to collect special toppings or get money for Peppino's friend, buddy, tax collection agent, his male escort. Anyway, Peppino pays in some way to get to the boss levels, and beating the bosses gives keys to ascend the tower. Also, Peppino literally beats them to a pulp. Now, unless I forgot something, let's tune into Peppino TV and get into the main story.
And now for something.
Through an opening cutscene, we're introduced to Peppino stressing in his pizzeria over bills and debt, with a tower looming behind him, a possible competitor of his. And just when it seemed like a pretty normal premise, Pizza Face, a giant floating pizza, taunts Peppino and says he's going to destroy his pizzeria.
April Fool!
What did you do to my drink?
With a massive laser cannon from the tower. This makes Peppino rush after Pizza Face and begins the main narrative of Pizza Tower. But in order for Peppino to stop Pizza Face, he has to go through his various goons. This starts with Pepperman, a sentient pepper-looking guy obsessed with art of himself. The Vigilante, a blob of, I think, dough, who uses various weapons of the Wild West. Then there's the Noise, some guy in a suit that is having a midlife crisis with his wife dragging him off after beating him. And then a fake Peppino that reminds me of various creepypasta images from over the years, all leading up to Pizza Face. After you're facing off with him, it turns out that the floating Pizza Face is actually a Dr. Wily motherfucker piloting a suit, or judging by how he's found, it's his mobile toilet. I don't know what else to say. It's really weird. Now the titular Pizza Head starts pulling Bugs Bunny type shit with a surprise third phase being to cap it off. But instead of just Pizza Head, he brings back all the previous bosses, making Peppino flip out and channel his inner Goku.
I will not let you destroy my world!
After decimating them, Peppino goes even further beyond and ends the fight with Pizza Head in the air and does a meteoric butt buster.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond! Plus!
I'm not joking. This got really fucking insanely awesome. I'm not gonna lie. But before celebrating, Peppino has to run out of the tower as it collapses, with his friends and foes in tow, as he escapes. There's some credits and post-credits to cap off Peppino's adventure and his final judgment, the culmination of your percentage of the game. And at least to him, my overall progress led to me meeting a horny officer. I don't know what else to say. That's just funny. That's really fucking funny. Apparently there's also a secret / bonus ending from getting all the special toppings, showing Pillar John, the guy you take out per level, reviving and punching Pizza Head out into the stratosphere. Kind of ironic because Peppino was the one that was hitting him, but apparently Pillar John didn't like doing his job, according to some extra materials that surround the game. It's not necessary to get this ending, it's just a really nice bonus.
I'm thinking I'm back.
With some final thoughts on the game, I have to say Pizza Tower was an absolute blast to play and experience. Despite my time with it, I have one nagging thought. I wanted more! Sure, it may have been about 8 hours with the story and some side content, but what is here? I wish there was more. Pizza Tower is such a masterclass in action platforming design that when I got to the end, I nearly started just playing it all over again from a new save, just to experience the game again. This game is just fantastic from its gameplay, the music, and the story being a wonderful piece of game in this indie package. But if you're wondering where you can find and buy this game, it's currently on the Steam store, and only on the Steam store. And how much is this game, you may ask? $40? No. $50? No. Yes, I'm going up because I want to, subvert expectations on where to start with pricing. Is it $60? Nope. This game is $20. Wait, what? You might say. No, your eyes don't deceive you. This game is only $20 on Steam right now. And with that, I'm done with this video. And I hear Genshin Impact speaking sweet nothings to me again. So, what are you waiting for? Place your Pizza Tower order today. Or go get some waifus in Genshin Impact.